Chad, I'm a loser. This past week has been difficult. Now, normally I like to refer to myself as the God Gamer. I like to tout my skills in games that not many people are willing to play, but I am. And I try to become really good at things that aren't necessarily hard to do, but just take a lot of resilience to do. And this past week, I have been tested more than I ever have in my life in 5 different events, and I lost every single one. So although I normally love talking about how I accidentally won a tournament, or how against all odds, I am the greatest gamer in the world, today we're not going to talk about any of that. Today, we're going to talk about how I am a fucking loser. And then at the end, we're going to talk about what we're going to do about that and how we move on. But for our week to truly begin and for you to really understand just how bad it's been, I have to bring you to the start of the week with a game that you guys probably know, the Suika game. Now, I'm not playing it today. You guys might have noticed I haven't played this game in a while. It's because, well, goddammit, I gave up on the game. I got a score of 3,437. I thought I was hot shit, and then I called it quits. It was good enough to beat almost every other live streamer who played the game, even most VTubers, even most Japanese VTubers who have been playing the game a lot longer than I have, until C-Dog showed up and beat my score of 3,400 by doing this. Like, it's so lucky.
I beat Ludwig's score at least.
First thing out of the goddamn rat's mouth. At least I beat Ludwig's score. So this just kicked things off, right? I'm the guy who fucking brought Suika to the English-speaking world. I'm like the Christopher Columbus, okay? I found that shit later, and then I also took credit for it. And then I also turned out to be just a fucking piece of shit who's dog shit at it. Bigger score, better person. But I gave up on Suika, right? Because I had bigger things to attend to. Namely, Schooled. That was my first of like 4 different tournaments that I had scheduled for the past week. I don't even have time to focus on what I want to stream because I have to do all these other events. The first one was Schooled, then we had Name Your Price, then we had Doug's Shuffle-thon, then we had the OTK Valorant tournament, a lot of things. I thought for sure I would exit this week having done all these events with like 4 different YouTube videos to post because I would win them all. And here I found myself in a great position. If you notice, there's 2 Fs. It means I had 2 out of the 3 strikes before you are out baseball rules. And FanFan also had 2 out of 3 strikes. I thought I would clutch up. We'd have an amazing story. I'd have another video on my YouTube channel like I did when I made that Ludwig Penis Gang video, which is not what it sounds like. It's not like my fellow artist from New Hampshire, Kenzie. It's totally appropriate. It's you know, don't look up Ludwig Penis. Let's move on. What I'm trying to say here is the question that everything was on the line for was how many years is an eon? I think I'm done here. I'm not gonna lie, FanFan, you've put up a great fight. I don't think I got it right. I told you my thought process. I put down 10K. I put down 10,000.
Okay, I don't know if that's right or not. I put 1 billion.
1 billion? That's so wrong. I can tell you straight up that's wrong.
Well, we're both going to the final.
A billion? All right, Miz.
Maybe.
We've laid out our eggs. Now hatch one of them.
FanFan, Ludwig, the answer is 1 billion.
Which by itself would be embarrassing, that I made fun of her so overtly for guessing a billion, and me, I guess, an incredibly wrong answer, 10K. That would be embarrassing enough alone. Then I found one of the top posts on my subreddit, which showed a screenshot of a show I used to host called Mogul Money. And the question was, geologically, this short unit of time refers to 1 billion years. I was the host of that fucking show. I made people on that damn show guess, and I couldn't remember. I don't have memory loss. I'm 28, man. I'm in my mid-20s. I'm not sunsetting. So I lost a FanFan. Not to mention that I got some embarrassing questions wrong. So I found out this past week I'm a fucking idiot with dementia. Okay, cool. But then the next show came up. I had Name Your Price. I've been on the show before, and this show's specifically important to me because rather than show off math skills or random gaming skills, it shows off the one thing that streamers usually lose in their careers, which is being in touch. It's not about intelligence. It's about how much you are in touch with the prices of things. And at a certain point, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I've lost a concept of money. I spent $16,000 on a statue of Jackie fucking Chan. And I thought I'd be very good at this because my competition was Carl Jacobs, Hassan, and NMP LOL. And in that group, I was like, you know what? I think I go to the grocery store the most here. Of this group of 4, I am pretty sure I have stepped foot more times this past month in a grocery store. That was just a gut call. And I started out pretty hot too. It was a question of the price of Balenciaga Crocs. Now, that's not exactly testing how in touch you are per se, but there's nobody who knows more about Crocs than me.
Okay, first of all, I'm going to start off and say all of you were way off.
I wasn't.
But nobody was farther off than Carl Jacobs. And closest to the actual size of these Crocs is the Croc connoisseur himself, Ludwig.
I felt so good after getting the price of the Crocs right. I even got a couple of other answers right. I think within like $1. I felt like a god. I felt like a legend. I felt like I knew everything about the world. And then my entire world came crashing down. When I had the chance to win the show, I just had to answer a very simple question. Is a 10-pound dumbbell from Target more or less than $10?
It's less!
For some context, they rigged the show at this point. They literally rigged the show so I would get the maximum amount of points if I got the answer right. They narrowed it down to a 50-50, a fucking coin flip. All I had to do was correctly guess higher or lower. That is it. And then I am basically the de facto winner. I probably dethroned Carl, who was in first at this point.
All right, Ludwig.
He's not a jock.
Because he's incorrect. Which means Carl.
I looked it up later. That dumbbell was $17.74. 17. I wasn't close. It wasn't like $10.25. It was $17. But you know, I still have my gaming prowess. All right, that's what I thought to myself. I thought, I still have my gaming prowess. Nobody can take that away from me. And I entered the OTK Valorant tournament alongside Saikuno, our captain, Tuanto, Peter, and Miyong. Look at my movement.
One behind, right there.
Look at my movement.
Nice. Oh my god, that was a clean execute.
But then, while playing the event, my ping spiked to like 1,000, which I'm not saying is the reason we lost, but I was the bot frag in the finals, which we made it all the way to. You can see me right here at the fucking bottom of our leaderboard. Tied in kills with Tectone, arguably the most dogshit person of this group of 10, and we went on to lose 11-13. Finally, I felt like I had a chance when I did Doug's Shuffleathon. Who watched this event, chat? Do you guys watch this? For some context, Doug was running an event. It was 4 teams of 2 people, and I was on a team with Squeaks, and the games represented were Melee, Mario 64, Mario Kart Double Dash, Mario Party 4. I mean, it's literally like collecting the power stones of what I am the best at in this world. And although it got off to a rocky start, I ended up crushing everybody like a grape in Double Dash.
They get angry at you for trying to take the items that
I even finished the race backwards. Didn't matter. I beat 5-0. We easily made it to the finals. And then in the finals, we fucking crushed. I was just doing nasty freak shit. And I thought for the first time this past week, I had actually won an event. I thought after all the failures, pain, and strife, I got first place in Doug's Shuffle Mania, which is when I found out that Doug and Germa had secretly planned this entire event to find a duo to play tennis against. I deadass had no clue about this, by the way. This event was run by Off-Brand. I had no clue. I am the majority owner in Off-Brand. I have put all the fucking money into the goddamn company. Nobody told me shit. I had no clue. At one point, I tried to enter through the side door. They said you can't go there. And I was like, bro, I'm out here paying for the damn building. Turns out it's because they were hiding that the winner of the gaming portion would play tennis, and that would determine the true winner. Unbeknownst to me, Doug is a high school tennis player. So he was dropping hot, nasty fucking serves that made us look like little school children. And then at one point, the ref got a bad call. I called him out for it, and they just took a point away from us. I didn't know you could do that. He just said -1. And then he called the score 2-1. I think it was 4-1. And even then, we still would have made a comeback. But then Squeaks, God bless his heart, what a gamer he is.
You know a baseball game we played against robots and they did it like 500 miles per hour? Oh! Let's go! Let's go. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. That's it.
And I lost in a tennis event I didn't even know I entered. And here we are, just literally 1 week later, and I'm sitting here asking myself, what the fuck am I good at? Reacting? Not even. Because I tried reacting to the button, I got fucking banned. I got nothing, baby. My hair doesn't even look good anymore, and Foozie's gonna cut it, so it's gonna look worse. So anyway, I've been thinking a lot about being a loser. And so I thought about one way I could try to feel like a winner. And I thought maybe I could try a new Fadian game, right? I could try a new Fadian game that nobody really plays and be the best at it. But nobody really plays that shit, you know? It's not, what does that prove? I thought, okay, I could try to get Diamond in Valorant, you know? It's an arbitrary rank, but it's pretty decent if you're Diamond at that point. Maybe I could do that. Maybe I could try to double Watermelon and Suika game. But I have failed at that every single time I've ever tried. And so I've come up with an idea. And it's not going to happen soon. But I've been toying around with the idea of getting a bit of revenge. Revenge on you guys. Because these seeds of doubt of maybe being a loser have only started to form because of you. And only because on a certain Ludlock, I had to cheat to win. And nobody ever lets me forget about that. And I've been seeing a whole lot of these Iron Mon Nuzlocks. A whole lot of them. And I've never done one before. And so maybe that's our answer. Maybe the way I become a champion again is by reclaiming my title in Pokemon. And so, boys, that'll be the goal at some point in the next couple of months, is to win in Iron Man Nuzlocke. Now, I don't know exactly which one I'm going to do. I'm not signing myself up for a specific Kaizo or whatever. But we need justice again. We can't go on being fucking losers all the damn time. We need a win. We need a victory. We need justice. So let's go back to when the losing started happening, and let's see if we can win it then. Let's see if we can rewrite history in a way. It won't be a tainted win. There will be no cheating.